Riverside Weekly. We hope your time with us today is thought-provoking, spiritually challenging, and a life-changing experience. Our discussions and messages can be raw, real, and at times very uncomfortable and even controversial. We highly encourage all of our guests and listeners to take notes, leave comments, and when possible, always share what you hear. And now here are your hosts, Pastor Cello and Pastor Mia.
Welcome, everybody.
What's up? It's Wednesday.
Yeah. Happy Wednesday.
We have a 29-year-old in the house.
Hey.
Boo, 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 boo.
Jay celebrating 29 yesterday, so we brought him in today.
29 years, 24 hours.
Yeah, 29 in a night, in a day.
Yeah.
In 2 seconds.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Who's counting, you know? Who's counting?
He's over here looking like T-Bone from the mid-90s.
That's okay. You looking like Cheech, so, I mean, we should be all right. We got 90s, we got 70s, we good. And I'm in the 80s.
I should have brought my shades.
Yeah, you should have.
I mean,
bring the energy.
It's the Stevie Wonder energy. Anyway, what are we talking about today, guys?
Oh.
Let's not talk about hair, because hair is just too much. But we really should, honestly.
We could talk about hair.
We could talk about hair, because I'm really digging this haircut on you.
Shout out to my girl Mary Jane at Chronic Beauty Bar.
Woo! Did you go and get a facial as well?
No.
I mean, it's Chronic.
I'm not against it.
It's
Don't get me
Chronic
wrong.
Beauty Bar.
Don't get me wrong.
Are you a pedicure finger guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Not right now, so.
Oh, I was like, let me
Got the
see.
camera. Got the cameras. Yeah, of course I am.
Yes, all the time. I'm not wearing sandals right now.
So, do you think that if he went in to go see the beauty stylist, he would come out different than this?
Yeah.
I mean,
I know my girl can hook him up.
well, and honestly, really, that's why we're talking about hair today, because your hair was really cool, and you've got a new one that you're coming out with in February.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, and do you change them every month?
Yeah. I mean, she actually sent that one to me. That
And
new
said,
one.
"Want to do this for February?"
Exactly, because she likes trying new stuff and going out of the box.
That's out of the box right there, bro. That's out of the box. I mean,
that's out of the box. That's out of the packaging. That's out of everything.
So does she do, other than braiding, what does she do?
Hair extensions. She has a chick there that does eyebrows, eyelashes.
I probably could use that.
Yeah, you could use that.
Massaging.
Okay. Erica? Tenorio?
Yeah,
okay.
I believe she's
Shout out to
doing
the Erica Tenorio.
Where's this at?
Oh man, behind the old HEB. What is it now? Premiere?
Yes, the school?
Yeah.
So she's right there?
Harmony? No, Harmony.
I meant Harmony, yeah. She's right there on 26?
Yeah. That little strip mall, yeah.
The Mexican strip mall.
No way.
The Mexican,
that's a teeny tiny place.
No, but what is it called? What do they call them? Not strip malls. What do they call those?
That's the Mexican market.
No, but what do they call those? Shopping centers.
Yeah.
That ain't a shopping center. That's like this big.
No, she has enough space in there to do what she has to do, though.
Okay.
It's real good.
But she doesn't dye hair and cut hair. She just
I'm pretty
braids.
sure she does. I'm pretty sure she does.
Oh?
She just came back from a thing where she's doing lip fillers now. Non-surgical lip fillers.
So if you need some,
Yeah,
you
if
need
you
some
need that
lips.
Kylie Jenner look, go to her.
Yeah.
Roar!
Now you look like what's his name on,
Yeah.
On In Living Color. Shanae.
Wanda.
Oh, Wanda?
Is it Wanda?
Yeah, not Wanda.
Oh,
Shanae's Martin.
Sorry, Wanda.
Martin!
Yeah.
I'm the man.
Well, I think like
What's up?
like me going gray, I want to go platinum. So if she can do that, then I'm gonna go see her.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to be all silver and not just sliver. I want to be silver.
Silver foxes.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to be different.
Yeah.
So tell us about your hair experience and why you're.
We're talking about hair today? That's what we're talking about?
That's what we're talking about right now.
Get into it.
No, only right now. But I just want to. I just want to know.
I wanted to grow it out after my grandpa passed away because no one else has long hair in our family. Everyone does short cuts. All the men in our family has. Of course, all the girls. I mean, my sisters. Their hair is down to here.
Yeah.
So.
Non-cutting.
So I wanted to do it for him, and it took me a while. I grew it out kind of long, and I cut it, and now I grew it back out, and now here we are today. I remember like when she first started braiding my hair, she couldn't even get like this part all the way back. But now I was like, bro, this.
But you know, they say the more you braid it, the more it grows.
Well, that's what I need then.
We've been trying to tell you, Cheech, get over there and do
snip
something.
it. I'm gonna snip it sooner or later, and then just like this much.
Oh, just to take.
You gotta prune it. You gotta prune it to get to grow, bro.
Yeah,
that's scriptural.
It really is.
Yeah, shout out to my boy AB. He be getting me right. So I go to her for the braids.
Okay.
And then I go to the barbershop for him to do everything else around.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little 2-step process.
Oh. So
I've been called the king of self-care.
Oh, whoa.
So I take this stuff serious. You know?
Yeah, you do.
Like he said, manicures, pedicures.
Wow.
I do manicures, but it's like.
Yeah.
No, them pedicures get serious because they pull out that big old cheese grater and gets going on your foot. Man.
See, I couldn't have all that, man.
Yeah.
I'd have a grinder.
And I'm ticklish too, so I was like, man, this is gonna be a terrible experience.
Oh, I can't handle that. I can't.
It's gonna be a terrible experience, but no, it was actually somewhat a breeze, you know.
Really?
Especially when they get to
touching my feet.
Yeah, I like feet.
He does. Okay, he does too. But I'm like, don't touch my feet. If you're somebody else, and then my hair, my skin is real sensitive. So if somebody touches it, you know, like when I get a perm, or when I used to get a perm, you put.
She said a perm.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
1970s.
That's a 70s.
So when you put the liquid on your hair for perm, I can feel it rolling down my head, and I'm just like, I can't handle it.
I think what really keeps drawing me is because the massages. The massages be amazing.
On the feet, on your legs, they do your legs and your feet,
and then your arms. They get to beating. You know, I'm bigger dude, so they be taking all their anger out. Like, hey, give me more. What else you got? Because they be so small. It's funny.
And so where do you go for that?
Nails America most of the time.
Dang, got a little spots.
He is.
What are you doing Friday? Well, you know, it's self-care day.
Yeah, for real.
We're gonna hit Starbucks, and then we're gonna make our rounds.
No, we don't do Starbucks no more.
Oh, we don't do Starbucks no more.
That's $5.
They got cut.
So where do you
Tropical smoothie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Smoothie.
That is true.
I went there this morning. Triple oat berry something? It was really good.
Wow.
Yeah, I rock with them. When I did Uber Eats, a lot of my orders were from there. So I was like,
gotta try it.
Let me see what's the fire is. Yeah, like if I keep on getting sent here, then there must be something good about it. And sure enough, I started
put on the inside. Yeah, make them feel good.
Pomegranate plunge. Go get a
pomegranate punch.
Plunge. Man, fire. Fire.
You are the king of self-care. What were you going to ask him?
No, I was going to ask. So in the midst of getting your self-care, getting your hair done, your nails, your feet, your body massage, getting your tropical, what is it?
Tropical smoothie.
Tropical smoothie place.
Cafe.
So when do you have time to do your podcast? Because I know you're doing a podcast. Y'all are killing the podcast game out here. Now I know you guys are killing the game because I was sitting at a table with some folks and they were talking about how good this podcast was, and they're just they're just talking about the topics and the people that are on it and this and that. And I was like, which one is it? And then
it is. What's the name?
Imperfect Voices.
Imperfect Voices. And I was like,
Imperfect Voices.
I know that. I knew that name, and I was like, I know that name. Hold on. And I was like, man, that's my godson. And the folks, man, I know them jokers, man. And I didn't say nothing. I was just like, all right, they got
taking it in.
I was like, they got a little play. I'm a little jelly, but I'll be all right.
Because they weren't talking about your podcast.
They weren't talking about my podcast. You know, I was like, oh.
You is older. I mean, he is 30, and he's 29.
29.
The last of his 20s, and he is your godson. So that
odometer finna roll over.
Yeah, I was gonna say that talks a little bit about how old you are.
All right. I was like, all right, I'll give him some props. So it's called, your podcast is called
Imperfect Voices.
Imperfect Voices Podcast.
Yeah,
and where can they hear that at?
Huh?
Where can they?
What platform?
Spotify, Apple Podcast, and the Anchor app, which Spotify owns. Spotify's in a whole bunch of debt. Did y'all know that?
No.
Yeah, they're like $900 million in the hole because they bought so much podcast stuff. And I mean, it's only been a year, so I mean, you can't expect to turn around that fast.
And they're trying to compete with Apple.
Yeah.
Apple's the #1 podcast platform, bro.
We were talking about your AirPods, and I sent him a stat because he likes stats all the time. Let me tell you, they sold $8 billion worth of those.
Those are Apple AirPods?
Yeah.
AirPod Pros.
Oh, okay. Because mine don't look like that, bro. Them Moses gangster.
I was like, yours don't look like that.
Yeah.
So
I like the Pros a little better. You got the noise canceling and I forgot how you say it. Something audio where it sounds like 8D kind of almost.
Got you.
Yeah. It was crazy. I bought them in February early February, late January. So they're about a year old now.
So before COVID.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was finna go.
Oh.
So I'm in there, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I kind of tough to come around right now. That COVID stuff is getting, that coronavirus stuff is getting crazy in Asia." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's crazy, cool."
I'll take a pair.
Not realizing what was on the cusp at all. You know?
Wow.
It was just like another purchase for another day.
Yeah.
Wow.
What so what is y'all tell me about y'all's podcast? Who's on y'all's podcast? Like what do y'all?
And
then we can talk about whatever. I'm just like.
Yeah, this is actually really good.
The podcast. I was like, man, what y'all do?
Got me on there, of course. We made it up during quarantine because what else was you gonna do?
Yeah.
Go crazy.
Right.
Right.
I've been a big fan of podcasts for about 4 or 5 years now.
Really?
Yeah, I've been listening to it for a long time. Charlamagne's Brilliant Idiots, Joe Budden podcast, Deez Mero. Went to go see most of them live, except for the Brilliant Idiots one. It was real cool. We got to be able to do the meet and greet with them and everything. But just us, me and my friends, talking about random topics. You know, we're Twitter babies. We've all had Twitter since we were in high school, so being able to keep up. That's our
1,800 billion tweets.
Mm-hmm.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In 20 minutes, by the way.
For since 2009. We've been over there for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
On that app, like that's our newspaper, our generation's newspaper at this point.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
That's good.
All right.
I like it.
So now I'm gonna get political on you. I have to ask, man. Since you said that you used the term Twitter baby, so now I got to do this.
Do I take the glasses off now, so the audience can stop thinking I'm high? Because you look like Cheech, and I got the glasses on. They're like, yo,
something's going on.
I'm the mediator.
No. So they've been making a big deal. I've been watching this man all over social media. I've been watching it on news networks, all the different news networks. Being a Twitter, I don't know what you call it, junkie fan, whatever.
Twitter baby.
What are your thoughts on Twitter shutting down the president of the United States? You know, because it's inauguration day today.
Yeah.
Right. So he's on his way out.
Mm-hmm. One of the bands got leaked that they were playing "Hit the Road Jack" at practice the other day for the inauguration.
Oh my gosh!
That's too much. So, what are your thoughts? Being a millennial, seeing everything,
and being a Twitter baby.
I know you guys and a lot of your fan base are very
woke.
I know you guys are very very open to all sorts of ideas and thoughts. Y'all not real. We'll say it this way: you're not real close-minded or conservative, but at the same time, you have some conservative values and some understandings. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on somebody that's used Twitter, has Twitter, and really just says whatever you want whenever?
Well, that's what Twitter's for, right?
Yeah. So banning the POTUS. Our last president for the last 4 years, right? Mm-hmm. Like he's on his way out. So what are your thoughts on that? Like,
I honestly didn't like it at first. Like I don't like how some tech people,
tech
giants do stuff like that, because I feel like it's just a slippery slope. Mm-hmm. It really is. Like Spotify did a couple years ago with R. Kelly when he was going through his stuff again.
Oh yeah.
For the fourth time. For the fourth or fifth time now. And like they took him off some playlist. And if you know now, like with Spotify and Apple Music, if you're not on those playlists, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
And even for solidified artists like him. And they took him off, and like other artists like Kendrick Lamar was like, no, like if you take his stuff off, like we ain't doing that at all. And like a couple of the newer rappers and newer people like that, and I didn't like that, because I was like, well, what about the country singers that have done stuff too? What about the rock singers as well as done stuff too? And just like with Trump, when they took him off, I didn't like it, because I was like, man, if they're doing that to Trump, they can do that to anybody, you know? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they have terms and services whenever you sign up for these things. And if you're going to incite a terrorist attack on the Capitol, then, hey, they got to do what they got to do.
So what about how...
I noticed he didn't call it a riot.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. What do they call it? Insurrection. I mean, they got all this stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on them? Because I've seen this on other platforms where they're saying like they have folks that are outside the United States that are known
terrorists
and do threats and all this other stuff. How does that? What are your thoughts on that? Like, and I don't know. I don't keep up with all that stuff. I just be bouncing between every news channel.
And that's the
Daily
thing with
Blast,
us. We don't
like I watch all sorts of stuff.
We don't like I was listening to one podcast today and they were like, we don't get on the news. Like we don't watch the news. Like we follow like our government officials and like that's how we find out stuff, you know? And I mean that's just like that because like the same reason I didn't like it with Trump, like it's a it felt like a breach of freedom of speech, but at the same time there ain't no freedom for you to not have consequences to your speech as well, you know?
Yeah.
So
I can see that. That makes sense. That makes sense. So what do you feel like they would, by doing that, do you feel like they have the liberty or the freedom to be able to even expand on that as far as enforcing their policies and stuff like that?
At the end of the day, yeah. Because you're making a mess at their house. No one wants to be responsible for a mess at their house, you know? Yeah. Like, yeah, y'all can go do that elsewhere. You can't do it here, but I mean, if you want to go to that Parler website or wherever, then go have fun over there. But right here, no, we're not.
Which I think they banned Parler.
They dumped it off on all the platforms.
Yeah. I was like, what?
It was the number 1, and then it went to number 0
wow.
real quick.
Yeah, and then somebody else was saying that. That's kind of funny that you'd say number 1 to number 0 is because some guy was talking about cancel culture, how the culture can do that and knock you out of first place instantly.
It can. Cancel culture is a funny thing. I feel like it don't work. It's not efficient. If you can stand in the pocket for like good 48 hours and take whatever's coming to you, you're good after that. Because everything in this world moves so fast, you know? Like, topics come up every single day.
Yeah.
Like,
well, more than that in Twitter world.
Yeah, for real, especially in Twitter
like 30 in 30 seconds.
Especially, yeah. So I mean, it can get drowned out real quickly with any little crazy thing.
It's crazy because everything that's been going on with our political atmosphere that's going on, there's so much that's happening that people are not even aware of what's going on, you know. And I'm just like, it's crazy because whatever's hot. I feel like just when watching the news media keeps it hot as long as they possibly can and don't really address other things that are taking place, whether they're bad, good, or whatever. Like they just want to keep that one fire going the whole time.
Stuck in the fire?
Yeah, like they just want to keep that burning. I'm like, what else is there, man? Like, I mean, because like right now it's all the transition of the presidency and everything else.
Transition of power.
And hasn't really been dealing with the distribution of vaccines. It hasn't been like a lot of people don't realize that they've already gotten the okay to go, but a lot of it's not even being distributed, and they're not even reporting that it's not being distributed. Yeah. You know, so you have all these people that were really still in this limbo, and we should already be on the way out of it, but nobody's paying attention to that, you know. And so I think it's just interesting. So I was just curious, like what. Yeah.
So is that like the laser with the cat? I was just thinking about it, you know.
She said the laser.
Cat goes over there. Cat goes over there, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they
taking it off the real issue.
They can make us pay attention to whatever they need
to
pay
right.
to whenever, man. Like, it's called television programming for a reason, you know. Like, it really is.
Follow the wings.
I heard a message one time. A guy was talking about how Christians like shiny things, and I was like, that is so good. And the whole message that he was talking about was how Christians are always going after shiny stuff or things that sparkle, things that have attention. So they're like, we're talking about how they go after like prosperity, and then if somebody's talking about abortion, then they jump on abortion, and if somebody's talking about gays and lesbians, they jump on that, and they'll forget about prosperity, they'll forget about abortion, and like they just have their circle of things that they go through, and it's like exactly what you said is that little laser, and you're like, look what's over here, look what's over here.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about on the podcast yesterday. I was like, bro, Republicans really sold their soul for 4 years of Donald Trump, bro. Like, they really did. Like, they bought into everything he was selling.
Yeah.
They really did.
And it's crazy because when you think about that, people always give me a hard time, like, are you Trump supporter? I was like, I don't necessarily like Trump the brand, Trump the stuff, but I like the fact that he was not a politician. I like the fact that he hasn't been in the game for 40 years and still making $100,000 a year plus, right? And I guess that's for me. That's where I struggle. Is, people always talk about taxing the rich and trying to get that money from the rich people, and I'm like, so my always question is how do you define what's rich? If you're making 30,000, is 100,000 rich, or is 100,000 broke?
Yeah.
Or what is $1 million? If you're making $1 million, are you considered rich? Or if you're making $5 million, are you considered like what? Because I mean, at a certain point, Killer Mike's getting $1 million breaks. At a certain point, Jay-Z's getting $1 million breaks. So are you saying you want to sue Cardi B? Yeah. Jay-Z, like, are they on that same list?
No, they do. They do.
Like, are they on that same list of tax the rich? Like, that's what I'm thinking.
It comes up on some people, like, on Twitter. They're like, so eat the rich. So what's wrong with Beyonce and Jay-Z's mega super yacht? You know?
Like, I'm like, where does the boundaries? And I guess for me, that's where a lot of times I'm just like, I just feel like a lot of times when people say things, they're not very consistent in what they're
hypocritical
in their thinking. Like there's some hypocrisy there,
Yep.
and so that's why I don't like talking about stuff like that, because I'm just like, bro, when you're talking about like what is rich, like let's tax the rich, or let's grab, let's get money from, need to give money to the poor or whatever. Okay, like where does that start? Because technically, if you want to look at us, most of us that are making 30,000 to 40,000, we're rich.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of people, a lot of American folks, and in the world. So you're like, do we fall into that rich category? Like, well, I'm just making it. Like, you're just making it, but then there's these guys that are homeless, right? So like, where does that?
There's just 50-60% of America that wishes they were here broke.
Right, exactly.
It's all about perspective.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So like, when you talk about that, that's where I struggle in having those conversations, because I'm like, I don't know if I want to.
I kind of do too, because like I'm kind of like Joker. Like I just like seeing the world burn sometimes. like I do.
I just like seeing the world burn.
Yeah, like I like anarchy. So like kind of on that first Trump run, I wasn't mad that he won. I was like, go ahead, cause some trouble in these, politics. Like, cause I didn't bang with politics a lot at all on that first term. So I was like, man, whatever happens, go ahead. Like, let's see some more stuff.
So
let's
like
see
this?
what's great. Yeah.
7.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, man, let's go ahead and go. But I mean, after them 4 years, we saw what happened. I was like, okay, well,
they turned way up.
Yeah, turned way up, upside down.
No, and I do. I think it's because you have extremists in wherever you go. I mean, you have those people that disagree with abortion, right? But they're not going to stand on the corner and hold up pictures of aborted babies, right? You have those people that disagree with homosexuality, but they're not, protesting at a rainbow rally or at they're not, so I think that, but you have these other folks that are out there and they got the bullhorn going to hell, repent, they don't, you got all this stuff going on, right? And so I think it's the same thing no matter where you're at. So I mean, like I said, I really don't think Trump was probably one of our best presidents, and I say that very lightly.
Needless to say,
but at the same time, I think that he brought a lot to the table with all the baggage.
Yeah.
I
mean, he didn't infest streets with crack cocaine, so I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
there's that bar too. There's that bar too. But yeah, man, there's a lot of extremists. Like they don't even like. Okay, so like a couple weeks ago, Lil Wayne supported Donald Trump before re-election, before the election started, and everybody was bashing him. And then a couple weeks later, it comes out that he was under arrest or had a warrant for some stuff that happened. I was like, oh, okay, so I see the play. Like, okay. I understood, because I don't let the internet come up with how I should think.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks, and then now in the present time, he's on the list for the pardon list.
On the pardon
He's on the pardon list.
Yeah.
I'm like, duh, of course that's happening, because
that's called politics.
Yeah, that's called politicking. Like
exactly.
That's like literally the verb of it. I'm like, bro, like that's why you can't let the internet come up with your thought, and like you can't let them choose what you're thinking.
Yeah, and I guess that's where I think the biggest issue that we have right now, one of the main issues that we have in the United States, is that we're so split down the middle that nobody's we're split down the middle, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, socially. That
on here we are.
Yeah, and we don't have those conversations. Like we don't have those conversations, and
really,
it's hard for me because my family is very well rounded, and I mean, there are things that they agree with that I disagree with, and there are things that we agree with at the same time. But I think not having those emotionally mature conversations is really what makes it difficult, because you want to start yelling and screaming and just instead of just going, I just don't agree with that.
Yeah, for real.
Let me move on. Right?
You really do, because I mean, that's why I really pride myself on being like a natural sensualist. Like, I'm for real in the middle. Like,
me too. That's what I say all the time.
I'm like for real in the middle, because like there's literally both sides of the story I understand, because there's two sides to every story.
Yeah, and then there's the truth.
Exactly. Three sides. Their side, and somewhere in the middle, the truth.
Somewhere in the middle, actually what happened.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I was just curious, because I mean, we haven't had anybody on since all this stuff happened and had any discussion about it, so I was just curious. I honestly didn't realize that you guys, and I say you because I know my kids are on Twitter, like I mean, folks your guys' age. I didn't realize that you guys were on Twitter that long.
Yeah.
I have a Twitter account, and I might have close to 10,000 tweets.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I'm sure you guys are probably
I don't know. Let's keep on talking. We'll
quarter of a million tweets, and I don't have the follow.
What?
93.
Almost a million.
93.2.
Almost a million.
Almost a honey bun.
Yeah.
As they would say. I've been on Twitter since October 2009.
Wow.
At Hey Jay here _.
That's only if you want to put up with it.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not saying you should follow me, but if you would like to, like, try me out for a little bit, give me a little free trial, go ahead.
You can cancel at any time.
Yeah,
guaranteed money back.
I know. My daughters were. When they got their Twitter accounts, they were like, "Look, you probably my parents are pastors, so you probably might not want to follow us.
Go ahead and clock out for me."
That's hilarious.
So it's gonna be lit tonight. So you can go ahead.
Oh, tomorrow's gonna be crazy with Twitter inauguration. Like any live events is like really what drives Twitter. Like award shows.
Oh, you mean today? You mean today's gonna be live Wednesday?
Oh yeah. Wednesday, yeah, for sure. But I'm saying like the best Twitter experience is when there's something live.
Okay.
Like a game, especially like championship game, award shows, stuff like this.
Because then they're
so it's gonna be blowing up tonight.
But unless your eyes can handle 1,000 tweets in about 30 seconds,
the memes, the videos,
left and right.
The gifts, oh my God. Yeah. Like, it's going to be so much stuff. It's going to be like just overload.
Well, let me give you my tweet for the night.
What is it?
My tweet for today. my tweet for today.
He's giving it to you.
I'm giving it to you because I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to tweet it. So if you're watching this, that's it. So my tweet would be...
Free Joe Exotic.
Free...
Like a Carol Baskins. She did it.
So my free tweet... My tweet for the day would be, now that the inauguration over, we can return to natural and standard racism.
Yeah. Regular racism.
Regular racism and standard racism is now back. So we can move along about our day.
I didn't know, bro.
At Solo Lozano.
You know who's finna take a hit? The flag distributors. I didn't realize how much Trump supporters love flags until you drive out to the country. There's like different colorways, there's different shapes, there's different colors, different pictures. I was like, yo, the flag business was booming these last 4 years, yo. I feel bad for them, yo. I'm gonna feel
Sales are down now again.
Don't tread on me, come and take it. Yeah. Trump supporters love flags.
Yeah, yes they do.
They love flags.
Yes,
Flag Day is a serious day in their household.
Put them all up, honey.
Yeah,
it's Flag Day.
Yeah, exactly. They got all the half-mast schedules and everything down. Like,
yes.
They got to.
My mom is a super flag person, man. She's all about the flag. She's all about the United States. Man, because my dad was in the military, so there's a lot of mad respect there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gets me, or I don't want to say bothers me, is but people don't realize what all that represents a lot of times, you know. And so for me,
especially when you see a picture of a Trump on a Rambo's body,
yeah, you know,
on a whole bunch of different flags, like I'm pretty sure it's killing, you know, the respect of them.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, like
hurting their brand.
So exactly, so you have the side that are doing that kind of stuff. And you're like, bro, that's unnecessary. And then you have the other ones. I hate the American flag. I'm like, I can't go there either, you know. And that's I don't know.
And now there's blue lives, there's red lives, and there's green lives. Have you seen those?
No.
There's like a triple combo.
You know,
you got a blue stripe, a red stripe, and a green stripe.
You know what we need, right? You know, we need to get them packs of lifesavers.
Yes, for real, yeah. I'm telling you, you'll drive out to the country one time and just notice the abundance of flags.
That's because nobody's going to charge them to take them down. There you go. But we live in the city where you can hang an American flag and that's it. America. Welcome to America. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us the day after your birthday and enjoying this year 29.
JAY Carry On STC on Cash App.
Birthday.
Right. I mean, you know,
it's only a day late, so hit him up.
So you can send him some money.
Send him $1.
Yeah.
Imperfect Voices podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Shout out to me, Jordan, Austin, Stephanie. She keeps us young.
Oh, good.
Since I'm getting older now.
I know the feeling. That's why we have you on.
You keep us young. Thanks. Yeah. So, happy Inauguration Day, and keep your tweets to yourself. You can follow him.
Make sure you have a fire extinguisher.
Yes. And watch those flags out there.
My timeline's going to be booming tomorrow, yo. I'm telling you, like, the amount of funny tweets I'm going to be retweeting tomorrorow, oh, my God. It's going to be hilarious.
It's going to be crazy.
Especially when they free Joe Exotic.
Oh, God. That's just what he thinks. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Everybody hold him to it.
We'll know by midnight tonight.
Yeah.
See what they look
Tiger
like.
King Season 2 on the way.
All right.
Man, thanks. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell button, guys. Join us. We holler at you guys later. Peace out.
Thank you for listening to the Riverside Weekly. Download the Riverside Waco app to stay connected and follow us on all social media sites at the Riverside Waco. This podcast is made possible by the givers of Riverside Community Church. Production and engineering provided by Capital G and RTV in Waco, Texas.